So just to have a look at the map first, and I mentioned Kiatari on the coast, east coast of Rhodes, and the fires behind it. And from Kiatari, we have Katie Piercefield-Holmes, originally Newmarket, holidaying there. And you stayed put, Katie, is that right?
We did, yes.
And you decide, you've got kids, I know you've got, I think, your mum there, your husband. You decided basically to take your chances.
Yeah, so basically I'm here with my husband, 2 children, and my in-laws who are over from the States. Our hotel was given an evacuation notice, but originally we were being told to stay put, even though the area was being evacuated. The hotel staff were telling us all to stay. Our block is furthest away from the hillside that was on fire. And at the point we then got told to leave, we'd seen thousands of people sort of going down to the beach, and the air was full of thick smoke. So where our room was, we had about a 30-second run if we needed to get onto the beach. But we decided to keep the children away from that for as long as possible.
And I'm only interrupting. I'm just interrupting to say that we're seeing your video at the moment, and it's one of the most dramatic I've seen. So this is quite a brave move by yourselves to say, right, we're safer in our room, because then you're not exposed, I suppose, to the smoke and so on.
Yeah, the smoke was very cloying. People going past who were being evacuated from other hotels were having difficulty breathing. When we were all still in this block, people were asking us to bring over drinks, wet towels. So I'm glad that we did stay, thankfully. The hotel have been absolutely amazing, making sure that we've got somewhere to sleep. They've been taking us to one of their other hotels that's also been evacuated, where all their staff are staying, and giving us food, because our tour operator has basically left us to cope with it ourselves.
Which is your tour operator?
Jet2.
Yeah, I've heard terrible reports about them doing exactly that, and I think they say they're overwhelmed and they're doing their best and whatever. So are you the only ones in the hotel now?
Yeah, I believe we're the only family still here. People are starting to make their way back and collect their luggage, people who had evacuated and abandoned suitcases on the beach and in the lobby. And they said the evacuation centres are hell, so they would rather leave and have a shot by themselves, because, again, they are getting no assistance at all.
And I guess you're monitoring the fire, and I'm wondering whether it's dying down and you can say you took the right decision.
Well, definitely in our area. So that evening that we'd stayed, my husband spoke to firefighters who were putting out the small outbreaks around the resort, and they said to stay where we are because our area is now safe. Basically, the vegetation around our hotel had completely burnt out. There was nothing left for it to burn. The fire yesterday went into one of the neighbouring villages, and there was then again a national evacuation notice over the phones, but telling people from those areas to come back to Kiatari. That's where they needed to evacuate to. So at that point, the hotel owners, that's where they lived. They were saying that's our village burning. They're getting no help. I spoke again this morning to the manager, and he said that they've decided off their own back, the hotel group and other hotels in the area, to cancel all bookings until the end of the month, to try and dissuade people from continuing to come to the island.
Incredible. Listen, I hope you're okay. It's great to talk to you, Katie. Stay well, and I hope you emerge safely from it all. Really appreciate your time today and the pictures you sent us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Katie Piercefield-Holmes in Kiatari. Looks like they did the right thing by staying in their hotel, but obviously that was a gamble.
It's a gamble, yeah. I mean, been in previous fires, you just don't know which way to go. So,
and it can the hotel can catch fire, and then you've really got a problem. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad they're okay. Do you think, Aisha, that the airlines should stop flying?
Absolutely. It is absolutely clinically insane that we are seeing this footage of people literally fleeing for their lives in their bikinis and their flip-flops, and just that terrible story from the lady who just... The idea that the airlines are still flying there, it's bonkers. It's absolutely bonkers.
But what if you've got... If you booked, let's say, a hotel on the west side of the island where there's no fire, or at least no fire yet, you could say, well, why should I cancel my holiday?
But I think it's just common sense, right? these fires are raging. The wind can turn at any point. They can travel very, very fast. Rhodes is not like a massive island. I've been there myself. Look, I understand that this is a really difficult time for the airline industry and the tourist industry. This is really the first summer post-pandemic that everybody was hoping to kind of spring back. But I think you've also got to have a sort of comment. You can't put sort of profit above everything as literally like your destination is on fire and people are having, you know, experiences which are like scenes from a disaster film. And you know, the tour companies are going to end up, people are going to lose confidence. You know, I think the big problem for a lot of these companies, as a point might come where people go, I'm not going to risk going on holiday if they have terrible service. And we've just heard Jet2 holidays.
Jet2 have had
other things.
Absolute TUI as well.
There's got to be a bit of common sense here. Just pause the flights, get people out of there first and let things calm down and then they can start.
We'd love your thoughts on whether the airlines should have a duty to stop flying. Do you agree with that or not?
I'm ambivalent in the sense that I've spoken to somebody who's got family out there and they've been onto them and they are in the other side of the island and they're just carrying on as normal. And with all the problems, Greece relies so much on tourism. I can understand their reticence. If you're near an area like that, it does seem crazy, but we're not on the ground, and that's why I feel that we're not getting enough information back from Greece itself. Because
you'd be happy for example, we just checked, and you can get, if you could get to, is it Heathrow it's flying from in the next hour, you can board the 20 to 12 flight to Rhodes on EasyJet. I mean,
I personally wouldn't, because with the heat, I'm like a walking
But I know you would, but you're
oil
happy
slick.
for them to sell that ticket.
Well, I mean...
The market.
It's the people that the grown-ups have to make their own decisions on this.
But